As we have configured a static IP for our machine and the configuration is persistent across the reboots, now I'm going to configure lagg interface for our machine, and in order to do that I'm going to add another network interface to this virtual machine. A lagg interface is an interface which can be used to aggregate multiple network interfaces into one virtual interface in order to provide failover and aggregation. So let's go into our virtual machine and try to add a network interface. We won't be able to do it as long as the machine is running, so I'm going to shut it down and let's add another network interface. Let's have it the same setting as we have for the previous one, the one which already exists. Shift B needs to be pressed in order to get it booted without getting the timer run off. It should have gotten 2 IPs now. Let me open a terminal and access the machine from there. Since there are now 2 interfaces, it should have gotten 2 IP addresses from the DHCP server. It hasn't gotten the address for the second one because we do not have the right configuration for it in our etc rc.conf file. So I'm just going to copy the same configuration for our EM1 interface and let's see if it gets the IP from DHCP. I need to now restart the service net if service net if restart. We would lose our connection, and we didn't lose the connection. It came back because I'm connected to the same IP, same static IP. So now you can see it has gotten another IP, which is 192.168.1.42, and we have the static IP over here. We have gotten this IP from DHCP server. I'm going to add these 2 interfaces into one lagg interface, which would be our virtual interface and would provide failover and link aggregation. In order to bring the lagg device, first we need to check if the device driver are loaded into the kernel, and we are going to check it using this command, and it shows you the modules which are loaded. And in order to find the right module, I'm going to search for it. It should have the lagg name, and this is the name of the module. So let's just run this command with root permissions and load this module. Now if we list the loaded module, so here you see it has been loaded, but when you are going to reboot the system, these changes aren't going to be persistent, and in order to make these persistent, we should make the entry here in this file, and that entry would be if underscore lagg underscore load. So when you boot the system, it would make sure that this device drivers are loaded into the kernel. And now we are going to execute some commands to configure the lagg device. First, we would have to create the lagg device. All of these changes aren't going to be persistent, and we would have to make the corresponding entries into the file so that it comes up when the system is rebooted. Lagg0 would be failover, and lag port is going to be EM0. Another lag port is going to be EM1, and the IP would be 192.168.1.88 with subnet mask of 24. So I missed the 0 over here. Lag proto is missing 1G. Now we have lost the connection because the IP which EM0 had, it has been assigned to lagg device, and I'm going to access the virtual machine. It says that the EM1 interface, which had gotten the IP address from the DHCP server, the DHCP client has stopped for that interface because we have configured it with our lagg device. So if I check the IP address now, it does have it, but I have lost the connection here. I'm going to reconnect, or I'm going to ping the IP and see if that respond, or it doesn't respond because EM0 had that IP. I should have assigned a different IP, but we can still edit the file and restart the native service, and that, I hope, is going to fix the problem. So the settings which I'm going to make now in this file are essential, and if you want to have persistent configuration across the reboots. So this needs to be up, and this needs to be changed to up as well. Then we need to enter cloned interfaces, which is going to be lagg0, the device which we created. If config underscore lagg0, and the protocol of the lagg, which is failover. Lag port is EM0, the secondary lag port is EM1, and the IP address is 192.168.1.88/24. Let's just restart the inet service, netif service, and see if the IP comes up on the internet, on the network. Restart. Let's just ping the IP, and now it is responding us. So, and the connection has been restored as well. So if we check our settings, EM0 is active, EM1 is active, and both are aggregated in this lagg interface. EM0 is the master one and active right now, and in case if the switch fails, ideally you should connect each of the interface on different switches. So if switch connected to EM0 fails, this would come up automatically. EM1 would come up, which would ideally be connected to another switch. So that's how we are going to achieve the redundancy. And as we have made the entries into the right files, so if you are going to reboot the system, it is going to come up with the same configuration. We have made the entry in rc.conf, and also we have loaded the device driver, and we have made the entry into this loader.conf file.